needs the companionship of another. So I have come here for two purposes. One, last year I came for a special function. That function was connected with the monastic life of this Vedanta Society of Southern California. I shall be grateful to the Lord for making me an instrument to give the vows of brahmacharya and sannyas under the direction of the President Maharaj and the trustees of the Belur Math. Had I been in India, I could not have dreamt to be called the Guru of brahmacharya ceremony or the sannyas ceremony. So I feel that SRIRAMAKRISHNA's hand is not only on me, but on you all, to shield you from all dangers, to inspire you to live a spiritual life, and to bring something which will be for the good of all, for the happiness of all. I did not prepare any lecture, you see. So you have, and Swami Aseshananda has given me the privilege to speak on anything that I like. Whenever I come to this center, the memory of Swami Prabhupada and especially his Guru Maharaj appears in my mind. I said when I came that I find coming to my home a spiritual home, because I came to this country in 1947. 2 years I was connected with Ramakrishna Vivekananda Center in New York under the direction of Swami Nikhilananda. I missed something in New York. And therefore when I came here, I found that something which was very meaningful to me after the passing away of Swami Saradadevi, I mean ritualistic worship. Swami Saradadevi entered Mahasamadhi in 1927. If a person dies and if you love that person, you want to keep his memory alive by doing certain things which he appreciated, recognized and valued as vitally important for spiritual aspirants who are searching for the truth but have not realized the truth yet. I thought within myself, how shall I be able to keep the memory of Swami Saradadevi? He liked three things. One, ritualism. Second, study of the scriptures. And third, an intense life of tapasya, austerity. In my own humble way, I learned ritualism in Benares when I was allowed to perform the worship of Hanuman, or Mahavir, the great hero. You have here the Ram Nam, Sankirtan. And you know that Hanuman, the great devotee of Rama, was asked by Sri Ramachandra, the great teacher, how do you look upon me? He said that when I think myself as a physical being, that I am your servant, you are my master. When I think myself as an individual soul, I think that I am the wave and you are the ocean. But when I transcend my human limitations, I realize my true nature, I find not the least difference between the individual soul and the universal soul, called the Jivatma and the Paramatma. By doing the worship, I learned one thing, that you have to spiritualize our daily life. Everything that you do can be made a ritual, can be made a sacrifice, can be made a symbol and token of worship. And in the practice of worship, you will find there are two kinds of worship. One is called the external worship, another the internal worship. External worship you can do with 5 items or 10 items or 16 items. But internal worship, you have to feel that you are Devam Bhutva Devam Jajet. You have to worship the divine by thinking yourself to be the divine spirit. And so it reminds me of one incident which happened in my life. It is in connection with my work in Udbodham, otherwise known as Holy Mother's House. I came to Udbodhan as the assistant to the manager of the Udbodhan office. But destiny allowed me to be the private secretary of Swami Aseshananda. And also humorously, he used to call me his bodyguard. So whenever Swami Aseshananda would go from Udbodhan to Belur Math, I would say my name, you are my bodyguard, I can't go without you. And so you must come. I will leave my job and go with the Swami. But the manager would come and call me, and one day he threatened me that he would fire me. So actually when the second incident was to his dislike, I went without his permission, and when he came he wanted accounts, and also there were other things connected with the office work. He said, I don't need your service anymore. I thought probably he was threatening me or he was giving me warning. Yeah. Well, I thought he would give me another chance. But next day when I came, I found another person was doing that work. I had no work there. So I went to Swami Aseshananda and said, Buddha, I have no work, so I cannot stay here, I will go to Belur Math. Swami Aseshananda smiled and said, go and tell the manager. I shall speak in Bengali because Swami Aseshananda said in Bengali, Rajputro ami nahi bhikari, pitar dhane mor purna adhikar. I am a prince, I am not a beggar. I have every right to claim my heritage. This, I think, incident happened in the life of Buddha. Buddha attained illumination after 6 years of long practice in Buddha. Then he came to Kapilavastu, his birthplace, to see his father, his mother, his wife, and also his friends, and his son also. Many people went to get the blessings of Lord Buddha. Then the Jashodhara, the wife of Buddha, said to Rahula, his son, that a great man has come. He is an illumined soul. You go and speak to him and get his blessings. Then Rahula said, when I go, what if the holy man asks me, who are you? What shall I say? Then it is Yashodhara taught Rahula, her son, that Rajputro ami, I am a prince, I am not a beggar. I have come to claim my heritage. So Rahula repeated those words, and Buddha understood the inner meaning. But because Yashodhara also was living like a nun, and so she was very much interested in monastic life. And so when Rahula said those things, Buddha gave all the ochre cloth. So, but in my case, it was different. My job was gone. My very existence there. The person whom I loved, whom I adored, whom I worshipped, I will not be able to see him, probably on special occasions. So it was a great blow to my heart. So I repeated exactly what Swami Aseshananda taught me. The manager understood that I had gone to the Supreme Court and the decision was in my favor. And so these are these things, you see, these great souls teach us through humor, through love, and sometimes through scolding. It will be very difficult for you to understand that. I would have been a better person if Swami Aseshananda would have scolded me as he used to scold Swami Nikhilananda. Why did he not do it? Probably my health was not good. So I would not be able to bear, or whatever may be the reason. I cherish his memory for the purpose that he was an ideal monk to me. Although Holy Mother blessed me, see, in spiritual life, 3 things are very important, especially monastic life. Mantra Data Guru, the Guru who gives the mantra. Then another Guru who gives called the Brahmacharya ceremony. The Maharaj was my Guru of Brahmacharya. I mentioned in the Eternal Companion he wanted 108 rupees. But I did not have to pay. You see, Maharaj, Swami Brahmanandi Maharaj, was the representative of Thakur. Swami Saradadevi, Swami Shivananda, Swami Premananda, all would look upon Maharaj as Thakur in another form, SRIRAMAKRISHNA, I used Thakur. Now Swami Aseshananda introduced me to Maharaj and said that he lives with me in Udbodhan and he is my private secretary and please bless him. But that was not enough. Maharaj one day asked the candidates to come and he said, usually when the ceremony is over, then you call Guru Dakshina, the honorarium to the Guru. But Maharaj said, I want the Guru Dakshina first. Honorarium first. I remember there was one who became Tattvananda, his name Govinda. He said, you come from Midnapur. Orissa is not very far from Midnapur. So you have to show me and also all those people who are around me, called the Oriya dance. But he did it well. We appreciate it very much. So he performed that dance of Oriya people. And that was the Dakshina. But when my turn came, then he said, Swami Aseshananda is very rich. And Udbodhan has lots of money. And you have to pay me 108 rupees. I said, Maharaj, when I have no money, if you sell me in the market, probably. But I didn't. That was in my mind that there is not much worth. So anyway, I said, I have no money. As you find the gold and silver I have none. I have come to SRIRAMAKRISHNA and to you to get your blessings. So Maharaj said, I tell you, your problem will be solved. You go to Swami Aseshananda who has recommended you to pay 108 rupees. So I went. But Swami Aseshananda said, all the money that I have and all the money the Udbodhan office has in the bank belong to Maharaj because he is our leader, head, spiritual guide. And whatever you will ask will be given without any question, without any reservation. So I came back and reported, Maharaj, Swami Aseshananda said all money that he has in his personal account and all the money that Udbodhan office has all belong to you. Whatever you ask will be given. But Maharaj said, I do not believe in empty words. It must be documented. He has to write down, sign, Swami Saradadevi, General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order, pledges, like this and that. So I had to go again. Next day I went to the country boat, and it's not very far, it takes only maybe half an hour or so. And then Swami Aseshananda said, you see, I am going to see Maharaj tomorrow, I will settle everything. You come with me. So we came together and I prostrated before Maharaj, Swami Aseshananda. First I prostrated. Then Swami Aseshananda said, I have to go to talk to on certain matters. You go. So Maharaj did not ask me for money, and Swami Aseshananda did not bring any money, I am sure. He came with his stick and with his velvet cap and his Gerva chadar. And only Maharaj was very kind. He said that you have suffered from malaria, your health is not good. You don't take baths in the Ganges early in the morning. And second, you don't fast. You take prasad, that means fruits and sweets from the Bhandara store. You see. So you find that Maharaj, you see, although one Swami was Swami Shuddhananda, he used to say, Maharaj, you should make some rules. You see, I had my brahmacharya in 1922. You see, I joined 1921. He said to me, at least 3 years. Then you are so compassionate, but there should be some rules and regulations. Then Maharaj used to fun, he used to say, go, I cannot do anything without Shuddha's approval. So we all go. But Shuddha Maharaj afterwards said, if Maharaj wants, why shall I stand in the way? And he became our acharya. You see, he recited all the mantras. And then Maharaj gave us the name, you see. That sannyas. Holy Mother gave me initiation, you see. I used to go to Maharaj with Swami Aseshananda, 1917, 16, end of 16, I came to Calcutta to study in the college. I was studying in the called Anglican Church College, they're called St. Paul's Cathedral Mission College. And Aseshananda was senior by me by 1 year. I am grateful to Swami Aseshananda because I was very fond of tennis playing. Swami Aseshananda said, would you like to go to see a holy man? I said, I see, I am entitled to play 6 games. I have finished 3 games. If you wait 3 more games, then I will go with you. So he was very patient. And so when my set was over, then went and he introduced me. We took tram, streetcar up to Shambazar and then walked to Ramakrishna Balram Bosch's house. It's called Ramkanta Bosch Street. Then he introduced me to Maharaj. And we used to go every week. Then one Saturday, Maharaj was away from Balram Bosch's house, Balram Mandir. He went downtown to see a devotee. Then some devotees were telling that Holy Mother has come from Jairambati. We are going to see her. Do you like to go? Then I said to Swami Aseshananda, would you go? He said, no, I have got some business with a senior Swami. You go. I have seen Mother before. So I went to Buddha. It is not very far, walking distance, probably 10 minutes from Balram Bosch's house to Buddha, Holy Mother's house. Then I was seated in the office room. There was Swami called Dhirananda. He asked me this question, young man, I have seen you in Balram Bosch's house, coming to see Maharaj. Who will take your responsibility? Bhar neveke, actually, words. Bhar means responsibility. Or Bhar also means burden. Who will take your burden? But in those days, I was fond of Kant and Hegel and these Western philosophers. I said plainly and frankly, why should another person take my responsibility? I can take my responsibility. Then he said to me, you do not know spiritual life. Suppose you go to a temple, which is called a cave temple, and everything is dark, and you will not find your way. You will bump your head at every step, and probably will not be able to see the deity. But suppose somebody takes he used to call torchlight, but here better word will be flashlight, for your understanding. So if somebody carries a flashlight and shows you the way, they will go unharmed, unhurt, joyfully, and without encountering any danger or difficulty in your life. Then I said, if that is true, then I go to Maharaj, so I will ask Maharaj. Then he said, it will take time. It will take at least 2 years or 3 years. But Mother is very kind. She is the Divine Mother herself. Why don't you go and approach her? So it was probably a Tuesday or Saturday, because it is called Darshan Day. On the days of Darshan, for men, between, say, 4 to 6 before Arati. So lots of people were there. And an attendant, a Swami came, he said, you go by one staircase and come by another staircase. And you prostrate before the Mother, touch her feet, but don't say anything. It will take a long time. If you ask any question and want to kind of solution of your problem, you are allowed only to touch her feet. So Mother had a veil. I touched her feet. She came by the other staircase. Then Swami Dhirananda asked, did you say that, Mother, please bless me. Please shower your grace on me. He said, I was not allowed to speak. I only touched her. Then he called, Swami Dhirananda called the attendant, one of the attendants of Holy Mother, we call Rajbari Maharaj. Another name is Swami Arupananda. Rajbari, take this boy again and tell that he goes to Maharaj, he knows Maharaj, and I request Mother to give initiation to him. So I came. This time Mother had no veil and touched her feet. The Mother said, Rakhal is quite capable to give. When he goes to Maharaj, and he knows Maharaj, because in those days only Holy Mother and Maharaj, Swami Brahmanandi Maharaj, would give initiation. Not Swami Saradadevi, not Swami Shivananda, or Swami Turiyananda. But then I had the good sense to say, Mother, if you bless me, it will be a godsend thing. It will be great. It will be a good shobhagya. It will be good fortune for me. Then Mother agreed and said, come on an auspicious day. After 2 days, there is a kind of holiday. And don't take any food. Don't take breakfast. And you also finish your bath in the Ganges and wait. I will be worshipping and call you after finishing my worship. So I did not know what initiation means. So I asked Swami Akhilananda, came to Balram Bash's house and reported it. Swami Akhilananda was very pleased. And he said, don't worry, I will arrange for you everything. Then on a particular day, we went to Calcutta, College Street Market, brought things, fruits, flowers, cloth, probably garland, and came on the next morning. I had a little conflict in my mind. There is a saying called, when you go to a doctor, you must not say, doctor, give me this medicine. You see, you must keep quiet. Similarly, in our spiritual life, you should not report that I like, call the God as Father, or another say God as Mother. In Indian language it's called, I want Shiva to be my chosen ideal. Another may say, I want Durga to be my ideal. So the previous night I was thinking that Swami Akhilananda has said to me that not to say anything, you keep quiet. And whatever Mother gives, you accept, without any kind of reservation. But I like particular aspect. If Mother gives something, I will have to say. So for a long time I was thinking and thinking and thinking. I could not sleep for a little while. Then afterwards I went to sleep. The next day, where Mother was seated in the shrine, you see, and they asked me a question, and then gave the mantra, the holy word, and it actually tallied. Although not everything, because the bija I did not know, but that aspect of the Mother appealed to me very much, and so Mother must be great. So here we find that Holy Mother is the Divine Mother herself. And that I did not know that side. Divine Mother was Divine Mother herself. I did not know that. When I had my initiation, I thought that she was an illumined soul or a saintly woman. But Divine Mother, that idea came to my mind through Swami Saradadevi. One day I said to Swami Saradadevi, I write letters for you. You give detailed instruction to your disciples. See, first step, second step, third step, fourth step, like that. Beginning with this, then afterwards surrender and all that. But Mother did not even ask me to repeat the name 108 times. There are no rules. He did not impose any rules, any method. It is a simple thing. This is the thing. If the thing is simple, then you do not think of great value and importance. Obviously, if you eat this way, everybody does it. But if you do it right or this way, that way, and mutter some mantra, then it must be great. So anyway, when I said you give me a method, then Swami Aseshananda scolded me. You are a great fool. Mother is the Divine Mother herself. If she touches somebody, that will be liberated. And it is a priceless thing. Cherish it with all your heart and soul, and cling to the feet of the Mother at all times, under all circumstances. You will be shielded from genders, protected from trouble, and your life will be sweet and sacred. So it is Swami Saradadevi, you see. But I have to tell also a story. There was called Chandramohan Datta, a disciple of Mother. He reported this story to me. He was working under me. He used to pack books, take to the post office, and also go to Advaita Ashram, bring books in English, and so on and so forth. Chandramohan Datta, a disciple of Mother. Mother would give Chandramohan fruits, but Mother was a little afraid of Gulabma. So, Chandra, do not go by that staircase, which is in front of Gulab's room. You go the other staircase. If Gulabma knows that mother has given 12 mangoes to Chandra for his family, he will say, Mother, these mangoes are intended for the devotees you are giving away. Anyway, mother was a little afraid, but this is the human side. But Chandramohan Datta said that one day he was going to take a bath. He met Swami Shuddhanand and Swami Pragyanand. They said in the midst of conversation, well, you go to mother, why do you ask? You ask only fruits, sweets and all these things. You should ask mother for mukti, liberation. Chandramohan said, all right, please wait a little. They did not go too far, just in front of the Udbodhana as this conversation was going on. Then Chandra went upstairs. Chandramohan Datta had a family, see, a father, mother, and also his sister. So Chandramohan said to me that I thought within myself, mother will ask me, then I will ask, mother, I do not want anything. I want only liberation. I want only freedom. But he came to the doorstep. Mother was doing the worship. He looked at Chandra. What can I do for you? Chandra said, my whole body was shaking. And the word came from my lips, Prasad, mother. Prasad, Prasad. Mother pointed out that under the cot there is sweets and fruits and other nice things that they are hidden, covered by with a tray or with a covering, like that. Chandra took those prasad and ate, and she said, I could not bring the word mukti. Prasad came to my mind. It is very similar to that Sri Ramakrishna says that spiritual life cannot be tutored. It must be spontaneous. It must come from within. When we have learned that called vanities of this world, then there comes a kind of spiritual awakening. Then we search for a guru, a teacher. And the teacher and the student relationship is a very sweet relationship. As that is the reason why it is called the Guru Shakti, the power of the Guru when he is illumined. God gives that power to him. And the relationship is through a mantra. But mantra is something like a seed. You have to water that seed, the bija. And then this will produce flower in the form of dharma, righteous living. And then comes the fruit in the form of amritattva, immortality, freedom, liberation, jivan mukti. So anyway, as I have said, that Holy Mother blessed me out of her abundant grace, Karunamai, it's Asesha Karunamai, unbounded ocean of mercy. So in spiritual life we need the Guru Bhakti on the part of the student, and the Guru never dies. The relationship between the student and the teacher is an eternal relationship. As long, the moment the student repeats the mantra, he will feel, or he or she will feel the presence of the Guru. And then the Ishtam and the Guru. The Guru is the symbol of universal soul. And the Ishtam is the symbol of individual soul. And the purpose of sadhana Shakti, is to bring union between the individual soul and universal soul. And there is called the ascent of man, and there is also descent of God. And the descent of God I call Kripa. So last word in spiritual life is Kripa Shakti, the power, the grace that comes from the universal spirit in the form of the Guru to transform life, edify vision, purify character, and also grant the supreme vision which will make man the mortal, man the immortal. And so here it is, the sadhana is very important for the student. Whenever the student has any doubt and difficulty, if he practices, japa, repeating the name, and also dhyana, meditation, with one-pointed devotion and through faith in the mantra. The mantra will become chaitanya. That means mantra will become conscious. In other words, you dial a number, as I tried to dial a person whom I knew this time. 2 times, no answer. You see. Similarly, sometimes you don't get any answer. You see. But don't be disappointed. Swami Aseshananda said, you are just passing through a tunnel. And every tunnel has, now here in America, tunnels are not dark. But I am talking about good old days. Tunnels were always dark. So you are passing through the tunnel. But passing through a tunnel will bring you to light. And also you will enjoy. When you have passed through the darkness of the heart, then you enjoy the bliss of His presence, the sweetness and love, and the compassion and grace, which will make you really grateful to the Divine Guru who showers His grace on the recipient. And the recipient will say, what did I do to deserve it? Whatever it may be. The spiritual life starts when we know this world is something like Moharatri. This I am talking from another standpoint. It is the night of delusion. And when we pass through the night of delusion, death becomes a great terror. We call Kalaratri. But we can conquer death. We can conquer delusion when we enter into another night. And I call that night this Maharatri, the great night. And that is the reason why you see you perform Kali Puja at night. Then as the world, as it were, has disappeared from your mind, and the universal spirit has taken the form of Mother Kali, who is both time as well as timeless existence. She is, when you have the vision, then you'll find Shiva Anandamai, that is blissful mother. But when you go to the highest state of realization, He is Parabrahman. He is the supreme power. He is the eternal spirit, who is your very self. Atmana bindate virjam vidyaya amritamushnate. By the knowledge of the Atman, you great power to conquer the world of Maya. And also, you also attain all Amrita, liberation, immortality. So if I've forgotten to speak to you about another spiritual event in my life, because as pilgrim, we pass through many events. And that event happened in Benares. My sannyas from Swami Saradadevi. Swami Saradadevi said to me that so many brahmacharis have come and asked for sannyas, but you are not asking anything. I said to Swami Saradadevi, a few days ago, Mahapurush Maharaj came from Concord, and he said to me that your father died recently, so you don't think of sannyas this year. Next year you may think of it. So I said, Mahapurush Maharaj said to me that I should not approach for sannyas. Then Swami Aseshananda said, no, those things are for householders. This is not for the brahmacharis. You write to Mahapurush Maharaj that if you permit Swami Aseshananda, he will give me. But unfortunately, the letter did not come on time. But Swami Aseshananda said to me that you will be prepared to perform called the Shraddha ceremony, that sannyas ceremony will be called the Virujahama. But before that, you have to go to a holy place. I went to Manikarnika, and there was a Pandit who performed certain ceremonies that you are dead to the world. That means man cannot be dead, you see. Well, it means the ego is dead. When there is the death of the ego, then all trouble cease. And so I performed that ceremony. And then Swami Saradadevi was approached by another Swami, Shukul Maharaj, Atmananda. So these boys, are they prepared for sannyas? You are getting them out of your compassion. Are they ready? And if you ask them to go to the bank of the Ganges and jump into the river, will anybody ready? But my health was not good. And also, being a Hindu, I have an idea, if you die in Benares, liberation, He is inevitable. There is no doubt about it. So why do I? And Swami Aseshananda is carrying out the word of Swami Saradadevi. It is a blessed privilege. So I said to Swami Aseshananda, to Shukul Maharaj, if Swami Aseshananda asked me, it was night, 10 o'clock at night, in Advaita Ashram. He asked me to go to the Ganges and jump into the river, and you may be in the mouth of the crocodile, or nobody knows. But I will do that. But Swami Saradadevi said, Kiran knows that Swami Aseshananda will not give that kind of irrational order. But really, I did not think of it. I think I am ready to do anything. If you love a person, death is nothing. But more important to live the life. Is what Swami Aseshananda expects of me. If I am to observe all these things, to become a kind of a replica, because that is Swami Aseshananda stressed, that SRIRAMAKRISHNA is a mold, and you have to cast your minds, your lives into that mold, so that by seeing you, people will know that SRIRAMAKRISHNA was not only a human soul, but a divine incarnation, who has come to give solace in sorrow and freedom when death overtakes a person, and person bids goodbye, not with any sigh or moan, but with a song of victory. Sarve Jana Shantu. May good betide all, may happiness come to all, may all see the face of truth, and be shielded from dangers and protected from all evils of Maya. So anyway, Swami Saradadevi gave sannyas, you see. The sannyas in Benares, Advaita Ashram. But there was a difficulty. Difficulty about name. No, next day Mahapurush Maharaj letter came. No, Swami Aseshananda said to me, now the marriage is over. It cannot be annulled now. It is Hindu marriage. He used that. It is Thakur's word. Be hoye gache, ferate parbe na. That means the marriage function is over. It is a Hindu marriage. It cannot be annulled anymore. But anyway, because I was very much worried that for my sake, why Swami Aseshananda should take so much trouble. I can wait, you see. But these great souls, you see, they are full of unbounded compassion. You see, otherwise, it is not easy to live with a holy man, especially with an illumined soul. You see. But anyway, it is again these great souls become like our father, like our mother, overlook all our faults, all our imperfections, and accept, in spite of our defects. And so then the name, Swami Aseshananda gave me the Aseshananda. Mahapurush Maharaj gave also same name to Yogesh Maharaj, Swami of San Francisco, over there. Then it was changed into. Then Swami Aseshananda in reply said, there are two names. The same name has been given twice. You please change. Swami Aseshananda should have changed, but because my name was, Brahmacharya name was Kalyana Chaitanya, probably he thought Ramanuja's definition of God, Ashesha Kalyana Guna Peta. So probably he thought in his mind, I will give him, his name is Kalyana, so Ashesha Kalyana. That is the God's name, according to Ramanuja, Ashesha Kalyana. And also repository of infinite number of blessed qualities, Ashesha Kalyana Guna Peta. So Swami Saradadevi wrote to Mahapurush Maharaj that you please change the name, because Aseshananda has been given twice. And so Swami Mahapurush Maharaj changed from Aseshananda to Ashokananda. He has done very excellent work, you see. We are very proud of the great Swamis, Swami Prabhupada, Swami Aseshananda, who carried the message of Vedanta to this country. And I am also very pleased to see that our younger brother is doing good work. Yeah. So many young people have come and joined. And also, I would like to say this, that there is a saying, called that every good things will take time. Therefore, we should not be impatient. And also, Maharaj used to say that the power of a spiritual organization does not depend upon money or external show of pomp and grandeur. It depends upon the loyalty, confidence, and reverence for the ideal of each and every member, both monastic as lay, to think that we have come to serve Sri Ramakrishna, who is a living presence of all that is good, all that is noble, all that is beautiful in spiritual life. And not only in spiritual life, but in all departments of life which are creative, constructive, and also edifying and bringing real help to humanity in its search for truth. And so these are a few thoughts come to my mind, and I would only say that it has been a kind of festive occasion these days to talk with real devotees who have just one thought in mind: how I can realize the ideal and not idealize the real. The difference between idealization of the real is called romanticism, and realizing the ideal is spiritual endeavor, spiritual quest, and ultimately spiritual realization. This world is not the real world. The real world is within. And in order to find that real world, we need, as Swami Dhiraranda said to me, a torchbearer. And so one who has got the grace of one's own mind, which I call sadhana, and also fulfillment in the form of grace of God and grace of the Guru, his spiritual life will be stable, enduring, and ultimately produce the great event in his spiritual career, which I call illumination. And that is what Swami Vivekananda has placed before us. Atmanu mokshartam jagatitaya. We have come to attain self-illumination. But that is not enough. We do not want to live in an ivory tower of meditation, contemplation. We have to spend our days considering every work that we do is a form of worship. And therefore every man that we render any help is service to God in man. And that is what Sri Ramakrishna said to Swami Vivekananda. When Swami Vivekananda asked, what is your ideal in life? Then he said, I want to go into samadhi and close my eyes and meditate and reach the transcendental state of consciousness. And when I feel a little hungry, then come down and eat a little and again go and go back. Swami Sri Ramakrishna scolded him and said, fie upon you. You have not come for that purpose. These are only intended for small people. So you have come for a great purpose. Divine Mother has shown me. You will be like a great banyan tree under whose shelter pilgrims will come, and you will give them rest, you will give them peace, you will give them call it a refuge. And so Swami Vivekananda, that is the reason why he said, Jagadhitaya, we have come to serve man, because man is the best temple and sanctuary of God. We are not satisfied with attaining only a kind of inner peace and contentment through meditation. We have to spend our days with devotees first, and to our friends and our neighbors and to all mankind, looking upon every man as a symbol, an expression of the holy of the holies. These are the thoughts that come to my mind on this holy place. And so there is a great spiritual atmosphere created by souls, especially Swami Prabhupada, who lived his days in the memory, not only in the memory, I believe in the experience of his Guru Maharaj. He used to say, I have nothing. He started with just the greenhouse, and then afterwards this temple was built. Then monastery, convent, and all that. And so it is the Guru, Shakti, the power of the Guru, made him the instrument. I remember I saw him before he came to this country. He came to Udbodhan, a young man. Swami Paramananda said to this room, the small room which Swami Aseshananda would sit, where he wrote his Lila Prasanga, the great master. He said, Swami Paramananda, let's call opening. Yes, you are sending me, what shall I do by going to America? I am not qualified. Swami Aseshananda said, this is none of your business, we will see to that. and I am glad to see some of the things, because I lived as his assistant for 5 years. And it is he who sent me to Portland, and he came also a few times. And so I am sure he is pleased that the Swami who has been sent here has kept the fire burning. And through your help and cooperation, and this center, which is one of our greatest, is the San Francisco and Hollywood. These are the two great centers. And so I came to see Swami Aseshananda before he goes to India. But I am not sure whether he will go for the convention or not. But this is sure that Swami Aseshananda, who is with you, will render service in his own way, and I believe that Swami Paramananda is pleased to have you here, and this work is bound to succeed, because our heart is genuine, our love is sincere, and the grace of SRIRAMAKRISHNA, Holy Mother and Maharaj, the great grace which makes the tongue eloquent and people cross mountains, will enable us to make Vedanta Movement a moving, dynamic force and a channel for the expression of goodness, love and kindness to humankind.